In this video, I'll show you how, by reusing wood like this, you can create a very useful item for kitchens, which you can also make to sell and make money from it. Hello, I'm Allison. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy this type of content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Throughout the video, I will show all the details and materials used in building this project. To not miss anything, watch until the end without skipping any part. The wood I'll be using today is all pine, except for this piece, which is cedar. It could also be pine. I'll start by cutting this piece to 50 centimeters in length. From this part, I'll make two pieces, each 40 centimeters long. First, I'll cut the end to adjust it to the square. I'll cut this piece to 28 centimeters. This one I'll cut to 50 centimeters in length as well. The cedar piece measures 2.5 centimeters by 2.5. For the length, I'll cut it to 56 centimeters. Now I'll make some cuts on the table saw. I'll start with this piece that measures 50 centimeters. From here, I'll make two pieces, each 14 centimeters wide. Initially, I set the fence to 14.5 centimeters from the blade. Then I made the cut in the center of the piece. Now I've adjusted the fence to 14 centimeters. Next, I'll cut the other side to clean and align the pieces, making them nice and straight. Next, I'll cut these three pieces. These two are 40 centimeters long, and this one is 28. I'll cut both sides as well. In the end, they'll be 14 centimeters wide. I'll do the same with this piece, which is 18 centimeters. Well, here are all the parts of the project. Now, I'll recap all the measurements. Here we have two pieces, each 40 centimeters long by 14 wide. This one measures 28 in length by 14, and this one is 18 by 14. This piece measures 2.5 by 2.5 by 56 centimeters in length. I'll add these two pieces to the project. They measure 2 centimeters in width by 50 centimeters in length. Here we have a piece measuring 5 centimeters in width by 50. These two pieces measure 50 centimeters by 14. In the next step, I'll pass all the pieces through the planer, adjusting them to 20 millimeters thick, except for this part, which will remain 25 by 25 millimeters. Are you a beginner in woodworking? Then check out the first links in the description. There, you'll find content that will speed up your learning and help you create amazing wood projects. After planing, I'll sand all the pieces using an orbital sander with 120 grit sandpaper. Next, I'll apply wood filler to the pieces that have nail marks. For the pine pieces, I'll use ivory-colored filler. For the cedar piece, I'll apply chestnut-colored filler. For application, I'll use a metal spatula. After the filler dries, I'll finish with a new sanding. Now I'll start making some markings and drilling, beginning with this piece that measures 50 centimeters. The first mark will be at 29 centimeters on both sides. Then I'll make a 2.5 centimeter mark in the opposite direction on both sides. Now, I'll set this piece aside and move on to the next one, which measures 40 centimeters. With the combination square set to 6 centimeters, I'll make a mark here and here. I'll adjust the square to 19 centimeters and make another mark in this direction, here and here. Then, I'll change the square to 1 centimeter and make the mark here and here. This same 1 centimeter mark will also be made at the top of the piece, here and here, and also on the other side, here. And in the opposite direction to the first one. In this part, I'll make the mark in the opposite direction. I adjusted the combination square to 4 centimeters. Now, I'll make a mark in the opposite direction to the lower mark. It looks like this. Here we have a marking of 1 centimeter on one side, and on the other side, also. Here is the 4 centimeter marking from the edge. I adjusted the square to 2 centimeters, and will make the marking in the opposite direction of the previous ones. In total, we have 9 marks on this piece. I will repeat the markings on this other piece, except for the 2 marks at the tip. I will make 2 marks on this piece, which measures 18 centimeters. I marked 2 centimeters on the combination square and will make a marking on one side, and on the other side as well. I adjusted the square to 1 centimeter and will make the marking in the opposite direction. I will use the hand drill with a 3.5 millimeter bit, which has a 10 millimeter countersink, to drill the marks made. I will use the router with a 30 millimeter round over bit to smooth the edges of the piece. I will do the hand sanding with 100 grit sandpaper. I will make one more marking on this piece. On the combination square, I marked 7 centimeters and will make a marking exactly in the center of the piece. Now, I will make the marking in the reverse direction. I will take these two 40 centimeter pieces and position the marked piece at the bottom, aligning the pieces. Now, I will use the hand drill again with this 25 millimeter Fortner bit and drill the marking made to drill the 3 pieces. I secured the pieces with clamps, and they are well fastened. This way, I will have the same drilling on all 3 pieces. They are well aligned on the sides, as you can see. Now, I will drill, positioning the bit exactly on the marking and performing the work as vertically as possible at a 90-degree angle. Ideally, I would use a drill press, but since I don't have one, I will use the hand drill. Here are the drillings ready. I realize it will be necessary to make one more hole in each of these 40 centimeter pieces. The hole will be made 3 centimeters above the central hole. I left the square adjusted to 3 centimeters and will make the marking on the 2 pieces. I positioned the square at 1 centimeter to make the marking in the opposite direction on both pieces. I will drill the holes using the same bit that was used on the others. With the holes drilled, I will begin assembly. I will proceed with the 2 40 centimeter pieces and take the 18 centimeter piece. I'll place it like this, aligning the pieces at the bottom and marking the top. The marking looks like this. I will repeat the marking on the other piece as well. Now, I will take the 50 by 5 centimeter piece, apply glue to the end, and fix it in the corresponding part. Another piece will be placed underneath to facilitate drilling. The pieces will be aligned at the top. To make it easier to screw in the screws, I will start drilling with a 2 millimeter bit. The fixation will be done with 3.5 millimeter by 40 millimeter screws. I'll do the same on the other side and fix the 40 centimeter piece. Now, I will position this 50 centimeter piece that has 2 holes. I will place it with the countersink of the piece facing up. I'll apply glue on both ends and position the piece exactly on the line drawn. Next, I will perform the drilling. After drilling, I'll also do the fastening. I'll repeat the same process on the other side. After that, I'll position the 18 centimeter piece, applying glue on the end. The holes should be at the bottom, and I'll place the piece in this position. I'll use the other part, placing it like this to provide the spacing, and then the fixation will be done with screws. Once that's done, I can attach this part as well. I'll apply glue to both ends, then position the piece correctly. I'll check the square. Okay, the piece is square. In the next step, I'll place the 50 centimeters by 14 piece. I'll apply glue to both ends. I'll also apply glue to the inside of the piece. Now, I'll position this piece in the correct spot and flip it to make handling easier. Next, I'll secure this part with clamps. I'll check the alignment using the combination square, positioned at 5 centimeters, which is the width of the piece. I'll gently push the piece down to adjust it, drill, and then secure it. With the attachment complete, I'll clean off the excess glue before proceeding. In the next step, the two smaller pieces, measuring 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, will be attached. I'll also apply glue to their ends. I'll leave 1 centimeter gap between them and secure them with screws. Finally, I'll attach the last piece, applying glue to the ends and aligning it at the front and top. After that, I just need to screw it in as well. I'll use pine dowels to cover the screw holes. I'll apply glue to the dowels, place them in the holes, and cut the excess with a Japanese saw to level them. This process will be repeated for all the remaining holes. I'll use an orbital sander to level the area where the dowels were inserted. Next, I'll make the markings and drill holes on this piece, which will be used to secure the item to the wall. I positioned it at 8 centimeters on the square to mark it this way, on both sides. With the square adjusted to 2.5 centimeters, I'll make markings in the opposite direction. I'll use a 4mm drill bit to make the holes. Using a router equipped with a 30mm rounding bit, I'll round off all the edges of the item, except for those on the underside. I'll do the sanding manually, starting with 100 grit sandpaper. Then, I'll use a finer sandpaper. To finish, I'll apply wood sealer along with a special stain in a chestnut color. After the sealer dries, I'll apply a coat of natural gloss varnish. The sealer and varnish will be thinned with thinner and applied with an electric sprayer. If you want to purchase a sprayer or other equipment for your woodworking, check out the excellent options I've selected. The links are in the video description and also in the first pinned comment. Well folks, here's the finished project. It's a holder for kitchen items like spices, salt, sugar, coffee, and more. This piece also has a holder for a paper towel roll and napkins for drying dishes. It definitely pleases a lot of people, especially those who enjoy organizing their kitchen. If you liked, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. If you want to support the channel, share this video with your friends who like woodworking. Leave your comments sharing your opinion about this project. I'll be happy to reply. Take a look at other beautiful projects that will appear on your screen. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.